Be aware. 5 signs that people around you were sent by evil. Not everyone in your life was sent to support you. Some were sent to silence you. If you've been second-guessing your spirit, drained in ways you can't explain, or constantly pulled back every time you try to rise, this is your confirmation. Because evil doesn't always attack with fire. Sometimes, it enters your life wearing a familiar face, speaking comfort but carrying chaos. This video will reveal 5 signs that someone around you wasn't placed by accident. They were positioned with intention to pull you off course, cloud your mind, and kill your momentum. And if you've been ignoring the subtle warnings, this is your wake-up call. Chosen ones, your clarity is under attack, but not anymore. Because once you see the signs, you won't unsee them. You'll protect your peace, your purpose, and your power like never before. If this hits your spirit like this video, drop 444 in the comments, a sign that you're covered, protected, and finally seeing what was hidden. Subscribe to Secrets of the Bible so you don't miss any new video. Stay with me, your clarity is about to be restored. You ever meet someone and feel like everything just clicks? They say the right things, understand you without trying, support your dreams, fill the gaps you didn't even tell anyone about. You catch yourself thinking, wow, this feels divine. But then something shifts quietly. You start second-guessing your instincts. You feel more anxious when they're around. You're giving more than you're receiving and you can't explain why. Your joy gets quieter. Your clarity fades. Your boundaries feel harder to protect. And you start asking yourself, was this ever real? This is how evil moves. Not as chaos, but as what you thought you needed. Not in darkness, but in disguise. It doesn't show up as a threat. It shows up as the friend who always needs saving. The partner who started with respect but slowly made you shrink. The mentor who built you up until you stopped doing things their way. The divine connection that pulled you further from your peace the longer you stayed. Evil studies you. It doesn't just attack randomly, it waits for you to get tired, lonely, or in a season of stretching, and then it sends someone that looks like an answer. And by the time you see the cracks, you're already tied in. Chosen ones, this is why your spirit's been uneasy. Not everyone sent into your life came with good intentions. Some were sent with one mission: to distract you from who you're becoming, to get close enough to twist your values, to keep you busy while your breakthrough passes by unnoticed. You thought it was just tension, misunderstanding, bad timing. But now, your spirit knows better. Let's expose what's been quietly working against you and how to take your power back. These are 5 signs that will help you to recognize if people around you were sent by devil, not heaven. 1. The drain that feels like a bond. This is the first sign for you to recognize them. This is one of the enemy's sneakiest traps because it looks like love, feels like loyalty, and often comes with history. But beneath the surface, this bond is feeding on your energy. You're always the one pouring but rarely receiving. You listen to their problems for hours. You pray for them, encourage them, check in constantly. But when you need help or support, they are suddenly unavailable, dismissive, or silent. That's not bond. That's a spiritual drain disguised as closeness. Or they make you feel like everything is on you. If they're upset, you feel guilty. If they're struggling, you feel like you have to fix it. You feel like walking away would break them, but staying is breaking you. That's not compassion. It's codependency in disguise. You are staying because of history, not because of a healthy relationship. We've been friends for years. Or their family. Or even they were there when I had nothing. They make you feel obligated more than you feel aligned. A drain will leave you tired, tangled, and off track, but still thinking it's love. Chosen ones, evil won't always break you sometimes. It just keeps showing up to bleed you slowly. And when someone consistently drains your energy, it's not love. It's a leech. Chosen one, your energy is sacred. Stop letting emotional vampires drink from a well they never filled. The enemy's connections drain your spirit but feel necessary or bonded to keep you stuck. 2. The touch that triggers, not heals. This is another way chosen ones can sense when someone is not sent by heaven because of their presence, attention, or influence stirs up wounds instead of peace. They know your pain and they use it to get close. Not to help you heal, but to gain power over you. You think they're being understanding, but they're really keeping your wounds open just enough to keep you weak. Like you are going through something tough and they try to comfort you. But instead of feeling peace, you feel more insecure, angry, or ashamed. They will say things like, "I told you so," or "You always do this," or even that "What happens when you don't listen to me?" They thought it's support, but their version of support is actually judgment wrapped in concern. After talking to them, you even feel worse. Or someone hugs you, touches your arm, or just even sits next to you, and your body tense up. Your spirit feels on guard. Chosen ones, hear me. It's not you are sensitive, it's not you fear them, but you feel something. Their spirit disrupts your peace. Your discernment is warning you, even if your logic can't explain why. That's the touch that triggers, not sent to heal you, but to keep your emotional wounds open so you stay weak and dependent. And spiritually, it's dangerous, because if your identity stays rooted in trauma, you'll never walk in transformation. Evil doesn't always come to hurt you directly. Sometimes it comes to exploit where you've already been hurt. Chosen ones, hear this. Healing doesn't feel like someone holding your pain over your head. It feels like freedom. Repent for mistaking emotional captivity as connection and walk out of the cage. 3. The voice that confuses your compass. This one is deep. It's when someone speaks into your life, but instead of guiding you toward your calling or peace, their words pull you into doubt, fear, or double-mindedness. You used to be clear. You knew what you were building. You had momentum. But since they showed up, everything feels foggy. You second-guess your every move. This isn't love. This is a spiritual smokescreen. And as a chosen one, your spiritual compass is your discernment. You can sense them when you ask for advice, maybe from your mentor guiding you on your path. Instead of speaking faith, they are speaking fear. They will say something like people fail when they do that, or that is risky, make you questioning about what was used to be clear, or from friends who constantly offer advice that feels off. Their advice always points you away from your spiritual instincts. It sounds good on the surface, but deep inside, you feel conflicted. Sometimes the confusing voice is in your own head, but it got there because someone else planted it. You're not good enough. No one will believe you, or you are too much. These words echo in your mind, steering your compass into self-doubt and delay. The danger, confusion, is one of the enemy's favorite tools. Because if it can't stop your purpose, it will scatter it. The voice may not sound evil, but it's slowly turning your compass off course. You are not called to live in a fog. God is not the author of confusion, and anyone who keeps you disoriented is not aligned with your direction. Your clarity matters. Your vision is sacred. If they keep you dizzy instead of focused, steep away. Protect your sense of purpose like your life depends on it, because it does. 4. The push that ignores your no. This is another serious and dangerous sign, especially for chosen one. When someone ignores your boundaries, your spiritual sensitivity, or your clear, no, they're not just being pushy. They're violating your authority. They test your limits, poke at your boundaries, laugh off your convictions. It can be a romantic interest who pressures you after you've set a boundary. You say, "I don't want to move too fast," or "I want to focus on my purpose right now." But they ignore it. They say you're being too guarded, manipulate you by, "If you love me, you wouldn't say no," or "This is your destiny. Why fight it?" They are prioritizing their desire over your discernment. That's not love. That's a push from the wrong source. What starts as playful becomes pressure. And before you know it, you've compromised things you once said you'd never bend on. Or the friend who repeatedly crossed your line, you've clearly said no to certain jokes, topics, or behaviors, but they keep bringing them up anyway. Laugh it off when you are serious. Telling you to relax, it's just a joke. Even when it's subtle. They're showing you they don't respect your discernment. The deeper truth is when someone refuses to honor your no, they're attempting to take control over your authority. The push might small, but its goal or to wear down your discernment, your confidence, and eventually your destiny. And the consequence? Every time you lower your boundaries, you dull your authority. Chosen ones are not called to be passive. You're called to protect what's holy. It's time you do the same. If they can't respect your no, they shouldn't have access to your yes. 5. The chameleon that hides in plain sight. This is the most deceptive signs the chosen ones face. And if you are still here, thank you so much for your support and paying attention. Let's talk about it. This is someone who blends in so well, talks like you, worship like you, maybe even serves with you, but their spirit is not aligned with you. They adapt, mimic, and camouflage so well that by the time you see their true colors, they've already planted confusion, division, or doubt. They shift depending on who's in the room. One way with you, another way when others are watching. They cheer for you in public, but they subtly downplay your wins or shift attention back to themselves. They copy your ideas, but try to outdo you. You can sense their energy shift when you're doing well. It feels cold, even though their words are kind. They blend in as a friend, but spiritually, they're draining your momentum. That's a chameleon spirit pretending to be a support, but actually sent to distract and destabilize. At first, you ignore it. Call it adapting. But deep down, it feels like a lie you're forced to participate in. That's not flexibility, that's duplicity. And spiritually, it's deception. And how to spot a chameleon? You must discern their fruit, not just their form. Ask yourself question, do they carry peace or pressure? Do they blend in with light, but leave behind darkness? And do you grow closer to God or more distracted, confused, or entangled when you're with them? The enemy's most dangerous tactic has always been disguise. And anyone who keeps you guessing is doing it on purpose. If someone has to change their face to fit in, they were never walking in truth to begin with. Expose the inconsistency. You are not called to play pretend. You are called to live free. Now you see it. Those moments you dismissed the heaviness, you couldn't name the subtle erosion of your fire. It wasn't your imagination. It was intentional interference. Sent to confuse you, drain you, derail you. Because the enemy doesn't just fight your present, he fears your future. And when he can't touch your purpose directly, he sends people to get close enough to twist it. But chosen one, the fog is lifting now. What was once manipulation, you now recognize as a tactic. What felt like love, you now see as a leash. And that moment you questioned your own intuition, that was the exact place the enemy tried to hide. But it didn't work. You're still here, and more awake than ever. You were never meant to carry counterfeit connections into your calling. This is your moment to release them. Not in bitterness, but in boldness. Because now you understand your energy is not for everyone. Your calling is not a playground, and your boundaries are not up for negotiation. This isn't just about avoiding bad relationships, this is about protecting your divine alignment. Because what's coming next in your life requires clarity, not confusion. Conviction, not compromise. Freedom, not attachments. If this message confirmed what your spirit already knew, drop 444 in the comments as a prophetic declaration. I am covered, I am protected, and I see through the disguise. Then like, share, and subscribe to Secrets of the Bible, not just for you, but for every chosen one who needs to open their eyes before it's too late. You're not walking in circles. You're walking into alignment. And remember, you're chosen.